Sorry, what'd you say?
Did you making smoothies again?
No, I'm making coffee this time.
Oh, okay.
Hey, when's Liverpool gonna play again?
I think the weekend after the 17th.
Yeah. Weekend after next?
No, after the 17th. So like the 21st or something?
June 24th? Wow.
The 20th.
Hi, Roxy.
Hi.
Roxanne.
Joe's on a phone call, so I'm trying not to speak until he's done.
Well, you guys have an outside, right?
Yeah, I don't know if the internet works good.
Talking with the guys at Little Caesars or what?
Huh?
Is he talking with the guys at Little Caesars?
That Little Caesars,
Yeah.
but the Little Caesars had a their license renewal hearing was supposed to be this week, which I would actually be able to attend since I'm working from home.
Yeah.
But they had to reschedule it because the dude couldn't figure out how to get on the Zoom call or something like that. The internet wasn't working for them, so.
They just declined it then.
What?
And they just declined it. No?
Who knows? But yeah, so they said they would reschedule and they haven't given us a new date.
It's unbelievable.
Is it like they're like the neighborhood's trying to get rid of it or what?
Yeah, basically Joe is leading the force. So, because he works for, I mean, it's just, yeah, he's been able to attend every hearing and speak. So we like, before every license renewal each year, we like take a lot of videos and photos of like just the litter and the trash that they refuse to clean up, and they don't shovel their sidewalks in the winter, and so, like they don't tell their patrons to like keep it down. And yeah, so we take all this evidence and then Joe presents it at the hearing each year. So I think we've made some little progress in that. I think they used to have every 5 year a renewal, but Joe got it pushed on to 2.
Okay.
So it's crazy.
What are your friends gonna do? They're just gonna hang out in your yard now?
Well, we did see one person walk over from the Little Caesars last night as he was waiting for his pizza. He walked over up our driveway and then decided to pee behind our garage. And like we saw, it was it was like 7:30 at night, so like it was broad daylight. And we saw him walking up the drive, so Joe went out there and like the dude tried to kind of like hide behind the garage from him. And then like we walked right back out and then walked right over to Little Caesars and picked up his pizza and left. I just like I would like never would understand that motivation, like to pee in someone else's yard just because. So
I've never done it just because, but But so if you get it closed down, you guys can open up Joe's and Roxy's Pizza Shack or something, and then run your own pizza store right there.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's ever going to get shut down.
I will buy that place in a second if they ever sell it.
It's okay. Oh wait. Oh wait, never mind.
You're supposed to be an expert at these Zoom calls by now.
My work use Microsoft Teams and we don't use Google Meets.
We also use Teams. Too many meetings.
What do you think about the interface between this and that?
Well, I'm always going to associate Teams with work, so this is way better.
Yeah. How's everybody doing with all the unrest?
Just like citywide or like on a personal level?
Either. All. The above.
I mean, I think it's been kind of difficult, just like seeing some of the stuff from like the Twin Cities, like just a lot of like areas and you know just like a population as a whole.
Yeah.
You know, so negatively impacted by what happened, and then what a small percentage of people are are doing now. It's kind of rough. But my neighbor sent me videos of Humvees rolling down Grand Ave right in front of our condo, which was kind of like bizarre to see.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. We live on right next to a really busy street, Oakland. So each night this week, there have been protests and marches going on like all throughout the night. So it's like you'll see them like drive and walk, past the house. And then the worst thing is like the news helicopter that's just like always buzzing around the house at night now. So that's the annoying sound I hear is the helicopter. But for the most part, they've been like peaceful by us. I mean, just by our house. But yeah, it's constant.
You should go out there and throw a brick through Little Caesars windows.
Well, I told Joe, I was like, I wouldn't mind if they destroy the Little Caesars, like as long as they don't touch our house.
Be the change you want to see in the world, Roxy. I don't think it applies to that, but
like when COVID started happening, I was like, oh great, the Little Caesars is gonna close down. Nope. Like they're still open.
just go put a sign up on like Oakland Street, just saying
Free pizza.
Or Little Caesars supports Antifa or something like that. Just get somebody riled up.
Yeah, it's a headache. So Eugenio never responded to our text. I'm wondering if he didn't remember.
Well, he would have remembered when he saw the text.
True.
He'll join.
Who needs
Maybe.
him anyways? He really wasn't even a part of the last week.
That's pretty good.
Just texted him again. We'll see.
I took a half day today.
Oh,
So that's Shelby also only works until noon, and then we're gonna go maternity shopping.
Okay.
And then probably kayak. But, yeah.
that sounds lovely.
It will be. It's been a brutal week.
You gotta get out of there.
I do. It would be nice if there were jobs available in this economy, but
Yeah.
the 1% soaked up all the wealth, and now nobody has anything to spend. So what can you do?
I don't know.
We gotta do something together.
I'm still down to fix up houses when you get your realtor license.
Did you hear that?
Did Joe hear me?
He said he's in.
Yes, let's do it. That would be so much fun. And then Josh, what we could do is we could start our own rental company. Josh already has one. And then we can start becoming landlords as well if we don't want to flip the houses.
Slumlords.
Yeah. Best way of saying it.
Just buy a bunch of cheap properties around Little Caesars in the metropolitan areas.
Well, you got one to start.
Yeah, we need all the help we can get selling this.
Or renting it out to Milwaukee students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be tough. Like to watch your house that you bought like just dissolve into college rave house.
Until you saw the money coming in. And then you'd be like, oh, okay, that's fine. Anyway.
I'm probably going to have to sell my place on Grand Ave.
You're going to have to sell?
I mean, if I ever want to have a house out here in Denver, like, there's no way to build up 20% of a down payment out here unless, you know, I sell what I've got already.
Okay, so in that case, you should think about becoming partners with me, and then I'd buy into that property and we would split rent and all that kind of stuff. Because I really like your condo there, and I see that as like, that's a really good investment. Everyone is always going to want to live there. Someone will always want to live there.
Unless a brick goes through the window here in the next couple of weeks.
Well, you're on the top floor, so whatever.
Pretty good toss, I guess. They busted out a jewelry store on Grand and Lululemons. So, like, I mean, as bad as it sounds, I don't really care. Like, I just didn't. There's just so many like mom and pop, like small businesses that I would have been like really hurt by if they like.
Wasn't that jewelry store one of the mom and pop though? Like he had that business for like 50 years or something, and it was all like antiques that like obviously you can never replace.
Yeah, I guess my
Maybe
comment
that was a
was geared more
different
towards Lululemon, but like yeah, the jewelry store is tough. I never went in there though, so like I didn't have like a personal connection to that place.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they were able to get in there because if it's the one that I'm thinking of, they had like bars on the windows and security doors, like just a bunch of stuff like to keep people in there, like a basement bunker type of thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Let's see here.
Did we leave off in Milan last week?
We were
I
like
was trying.
just done with Venice, yeah.
Okay, I was trying to catch up this morning.
What are you grinning about?
What?
Ben, you got a big grin on your face.
Yeah, I was still, I can't get my mind off the Calatrava. Like, I just can't.
Shut up. Got to.
That's what made me smile. So, yeah, we can talk about Milan, eh?
Yeah, why not? We'll see if Huge jumps on or not.
Let's do it.
Were we in Milan for only a night?
Yeah.
Correct.
The one, yeah, did we get there, what, like, mid-afternoon or something? And then just kind of did a handful of things, but
Yeah.
I feel like I remember, like, laundry, ice cream, and air conditioning more than anything.
Yeah.
Definitely the air conditioning. And we did the Duomo.
Yep. That was beautiful.
Did we
That
do
was where I had a knife in my pocket, and the security guards had the metal detector, and they wouldn't let me in. And so Eugenio took it, and then we went on the little tour, which was beautiful. We even got to go on the roof and saw flying buttresses.
Yeah, that was really pretty.
Did we do that the first day there, or?
I think we were only there one night.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if we did anything like in the morning the next day, but I feel like maybe we did the tour and then like came back to that same plaza at night just to see like it at night and had ice cream or something. And
Yeah.
I remember being so tired and not wanting to go out that night, but we hadn't seen the Duomo at nighttime, and I had some FOMO happening, and I didn't want to be the one left behind if you guys were going to see something really cool, and that was like my only time to do it. So I went. And I feel like, is that when we got Carabe Gelato? Is that place?
that's in Florence.
That's in Florence. Okay. Well then.
I'm trying to think if we did like anything else big. I feel like I remember maybe we went out for drinks and like appetizers at like a place or something. Like
Yeah.
Did we walk through the mall, like the big open air mall with like the domes and stuff that's like right there?
Probably.
I don't know why I'm like asking this. I should just remember some of it, or I can just look up some of the stuff I got written down.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it was all kind of a blur, but at that point,
Nice.
It's a pretty church.
yeah.
I could still remember like we got into the hotel and it looked like a construction zone. And then they're like, here, just come with us through here. And we went through this like dirty plaza back to this like rickety old elevator. And we're like, what is happening? This is really bad. And then like take the elevator up, get to our room, open up the door, and it's like a pretty nice like new hotel looking thing. And it was just freezing cold in there. It's like, this is so nice.
I remember like we all took turns standing in front of the air conditioner when we like finally got in because it was like such a rare commodity that we had on the trip.
Yeah, we must have just had kind of like a crummy window unit and then like a fan in Venice, I think.
Perfect.
So Pisa, that was the next stop, right?
Whoa. No.
Huh?
We had to, it wasn't Pisa, wasn't it Florence?
I thought we stopped by Pisa before we got to Florence.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was Pisa.
Well,
Pisa was the day.
didn't we stop by Cinque Terre and then like just we're told it was,
Oh, that was that day.
Yeah.
we're told like no, just turn back.
Because it had rained really hard for a couple days, and most of the hiking trails were closed, and even the town connector, like railway, was closed. And we were standing. First off, I don't know how we found the information kiosk building or whatever. Then we get in there, and there's a 50-year-old couple talking first, and the woman she's animated and frustrated. Probably because they had planned on spending the day there too. And I noticed that there was it was either a 50-euro bill or a 100-euro bill lying like next to her feet. And I went out of my way to go pick it up and ask if she had dropped it. And she looked at me like I was a bug that needed to be stepped on. Like, oh my God, woman.
I do not remember that.
But she took
Yeah.
it, right? I mean, like she was not.
She didn't even say thank you. She didn't say thank you. She took it and looked at me like I'd stolen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
I gotta stop trying to be a good Samaritan. We all do. It's not worth it.
I don't know if that's true. Man.
I could have very easily pocketed that and not gotten the dirty look.
Yeah.
Even though I was all bummed out that I was looking forward to this. We also hadn't planned on finding a hotel or anything in Cinque Terre because Josh had read, oh yeah, you just ask a local if they have an extra bed.
Hey, that would have worked out, maybe.
It would have. I was slightly worried about that.
I do not remember that.
And that turned out to work in our favor quite a bit, which I'll bring up after we talk about Pisa.
I mean, yeah, we just got back on the train, right? We're like, there's no point in loitering around here. Let's just have an extra day in Florence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember if we had planned on stopping in Pisa on the way to Florence, but since we had the time, we did. I feel like we would have stopped there anyway.
I think I argued against it and Roxy argued for it. And since we had extra time, it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all knew that it was going to be mainly just tourists, but since we were right there, I figured we might as well at least stop. Because I think you and Josh, I think the two of us had seen it already, right? On a different trip.
Yeah.
But the other two hadn't or something.
Yeah. And I was
Actually, I was going to ask you if you had been to Pisa before, and you had been, huh? You were in Rome?
Yeah, we were in Rome when I was in college, but we were in Florence and Rome. I don't remember if we stopped in Pisa. I'm reading a book. I think I must have. I just don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we get there. I'm pretty sure we scoped out the train timings so that we could get to Florence at a reasonable time, and we were only there for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
We're sprinting to the tower. Yeah, pretty crazy. It's leaning, and the best part about it was everybody tried to take pictures. Like, just looking back, you can see everyone along the rail imitating, holding it up. And so we had to copy that. I did, at least.
Yeah. You have to when you're there.
Roxy, I think you were criticized for touching a Portugal jersey.
Yep.
And so we walked to the next store, and they were like, "Oh yeah, try it on." Yeah.
Is that where I bought the Cristiano Ronaldo? Okay. Because I remember wearing it in Florence.
Yep, you definitely got it in Pisa. I feel like you even made like a comment walking by that store with the jersey.
I feel like you did make a show of it. Yeah, like, oh, $20? Why don't you just take 30? Like, who cares? We're flush with cash.
I don't remember that, but it sounds like me.
We tried to find a place to eat, but they must have been on their lunch break. The entire town must have been, because almost nothing was open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to lead us on like a march back to this pizza place I thought I could find off like memory.
Oh, that's right.
And yeah, it was just like very closed down. But we ended up at some like pizza place that opened for just us, right? Like we were 4 of us.
Yeah.
I think so.
And like it was good. I mean,
Yep.
It's pizza. It's Italy.
Yep. Can't go lie. I remember being like super like grateful that they had ice cold Coke at that little pizza place, because I was like in dire need of more caffeine at that point. And it was like so ice cold. I remember that I was like, this is life. I just want to read Josh's last paragraph in this section. He says, it was sort of assumed that getting to Florence a day early shouldn't be a problem. I also would welcome us for an additional night. And then we found out. Nope.
Okay, wait. Before we get there, I also like this tale that Josh said while waiting in line at the Milan train station, tickets in hand. We went to the platform, waited for our train to arrive. On our way to Spezia, Roxy would once again express how cold she was, and everyone took it upon themselves to wrap her up in their jackets. She looked like a pile of laundry when we were done, but at least she was warm.
We probably looked like crazy people on the trains everywhere we went.
Oh my god. I can't believe, like, I feel like now, like the last times I've traveled with Paige, it's like, oh no, how am I going to fit everything in my suitcase? And like, there for a month with what, like 4 different outfits, maybe? And just kind of rotating through them. And I mean, it was like more like, let's just see this stuff, not let's look like we're posing for Instagram stuff.
Yeah.
It looked like a bum half the time.
Yeah.
You still look like a bum half the time.
Half the time? I thought like 25%.
Also from La Spezia to Pisa, I helped Eugenio get a perfect hand in cribbage, and we woke Josh up.
Okay, let's just skip past that part.
No, that was real. That was the only perfect hand that I have ever seen, and I was a part of it. Yeah.
Didn't I like reluctantly play cribbage at one point for like the first time in my life? And I remember like you guys were all pissed because I was like beginner's luck, really good at a hand or something, and then you guys wouldn't let me play with you anymore.
That's not true. We probably like we made it so that you would win and that you would play more with us. I don't remember that part.
I think we played a four-person game, and like it was me,
Yeah.
Roxy versus you, Nuge, or something. You guys.
I think it was Euchre.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it was Euchre.
Yeah.
Huh.
My cribbage memory is going like 25-0 on the trip, like against you and Huge. Like it was a slaughter.
I don't remember that either.
Okay. But yeah, so
Okay.
we got to Florence. Did we all get there at the same time, or did Huge take a slow train again?
Euge was with us.
Okay, he took the slow train out of Florence to Rome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but yeah, we got there and like just waltzed over to our hospital, and they were like, "No, there's no rooms." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll just ask next door." And they're like, "No, there's no rooms." Like, what do you mean? You don't know about that hotel? They're like, "Yeah, no, there's no rooms in the whole city." We're like, "That doesn't make any sense." And we went and I don't know. I feel like we split off. Like I feel like I was with Huge,
We did.
and we went and asked probably like 3 or 4 hotels, and like we're told, yeah, no rooms. And finally, like the 4th guy was like, "There's a fashion show in town. There's literally nothing available in the entire city of Florence. Like, you could take the train back to, and maybe he suggested like Pisa or something and stay there." And I was like, that doesn't sound so great.
Dang.
Yeah, I remember getting off of the train and like the city was like all decorated like with event banners and stuff, and we were all like, "Wow, this is so cool!" And then we realized like, oh,
It was definitely busy. Like, we should have known something was going on as soon as we got there.
yeah,
Did the hostel offer us the campsites like before we went out to go try to find a hotel, and then we came back? We're just like, can we learn more about that, or did we? Like,
I don't think they said anything,
Okay.
but I don't remember for sure.
Because I
Yeah.
remember getting back to the hostel and them being like, "Yeah, you can make it the camping." And I'm like, "All right, make it the camping." Like, sounds terrible.
It was a debacle getting there too, because the hotel told us where we can pick up the bus, and we legit waited for that bus for like an hour and a half, and we saw one go by, and it didn't pick up on that block. It picked up on the next one. So I remember like running to catch up with the bus to tell the driver like, "Hey, can we get on here?" And he just like pointed to the stop and kept going. So we legit waited for like an hour and a half on that street waiting for the bus. Like, everybody's already in a great mood because we don't have a place to stay. We gotta go look at the camping.
like who knew that would be like that would turn out to be one of like the best places we stayed on our entire Europe trip. Like,
It was so beautiful. Plaza Michelangelo.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't even know that was there. Like,
right.
just dotted into that hillside, and like the view like the next morning was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Even that night, because like you get a whole view of the city with the sun setting. Did we go on our adventure after the sunset? It was dark when we started off to go find food.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
we were,
remember.
we were like wandering after dinner, and like Josh kept getting us lost, even though he said he like knew the city really well.
Okay.
Oh, but dinner, don't forget, we ate right next to.
Oh yeah, it was in the Piazza,
Was it?
or no, the Ponte Vecchio.
Oh, the Ponte Vecchio. That's right.
Wait,
And
we crossed that, and then we had to
Or
like,
no,
plaza
Yeah.
by like I can't remember what the
The
tower's
Duomo.
called, like the Statue of David where it used to be.
I got pesto there because pesto was invented in Florence.
Mm. Yeah, I remember the food was really good. I mean, obviously, yeah, everywhere in Italy, but I remember it being really good that night.
Yeah.
And then as we were like lost on our way home, we started playing that, what was it, like movie titles that
Whatever it ends with, you have to start with the next one, or maybe with songs. Maybe we incorporated a whole bunch of different ones.
All I remember from that game is Roxy saying down and like apple, and we're like, come on. Like,
We had to keep
like,
her in it. We had to
like-
keep her motivated.
It was so late that night and I was so tired. We had 2 different tents, right? Like it wasn't
We
a
did.
4-person tent.
No. It wasn't even really a tent. It was a canvas something on a concrete slab.
like a yurt
Yeah.
almost or something,
Yeah.
like a military tent. Yeah, I remember the picture of like me and Eugenio just staring at each other across those beds, like still,
Yeah.
still playing, like, and everybody's just like, let's just go to bed.
Oh. Well, the next day we went to the David statue, right? Or we like climbed the steps of the Duomo.
I think we did both, right?
Hmm.
That view, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what's happening there, Rock?
Yeah, we did climb the Duomo. Are you laughing at?
I was just laughing at Joe.
We did the Duomo for sure that morning. And then it looked like it was gonna rain.
Yep.
It did.
It did. Every time I'm there, it pours.
I'm trying to think if it rained the last time when Paige and I were there. I don't think so, because I remember having like a debate with you, Rocks. Like, I was like, oh, it's always wonderful when I'm here in Florence. You're like, it rained every day I was here. I was like, what? Come on, really? And it doesn't
Yeah.
rain a lot there, but I kind of lucked out. And then, yeah, we were looking for that sandwich spot that I'd been to, and like couldn't find it. And all of a sudden it starts raining like crazy. And we like duck into a little, like tunnel looking thing, I guess. I don't know, like an overhang. And then
Yeah.
we had, like in our running to find cover, we also were like right next to that sandwich shop that I was looking for.
We ended up finding it.
Yeah, it was like right there, like just up the street. Like we could see it from where we were hiding. And like I didn't intend to like run down that block, but just that's kind of what happened.
And then didn't we break off? Like, did Ben and I just go see the David statue?
I definitely remember going. Maybe Eugenio went with us, but Josh, since you had already seen it, you didn't want to go.
Oh, maybe Eugene. I remember there was not the full group.
I'm trying to think what I would have done. Did we go check in? Maybe we went and checked into our hostel, and then you guys
Yes.
went back out and went to the David, and me and you just hung out, like went swimming or something, or
Yeah.
took a nap.
We went to the Uffizi,
Okay.
that museum. So Josh, I feel like maybe you were with us on that whole excursion.
I don't remember if I saw the. It's tough. Like
Because Eugenio watched Argentina soccer game during that.
I thought that Josh didn't want to go see the statue because he had already seen it again. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't remember either.
like some of the
I-
time
But Ross, you
meld together.
you did run into someone from lacrosse at the hostel.
I ran into someone at the statue, also from
Oh, and the
lacrosse.
statue.
Yeah, which was crazy.
The hostel had had a pool in the basement, and those Mormon women were very fun to talk to. And Josh again hit it off with them.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, I don't really like drinking all that much. Like that is so cool. I was like, like nobody's ever had that reaction before.
Yeah. And Roxy, oh my God, that was the guys with the laser pointer pen.
Yep.
Do you remember?
It's free if it's on the wall.
Yeah,
If you take it, it's yours. Like,
they're so happy.
Oh my God, they were so drunk.
yeah, I look back and you guys did go back to the David, and I like went to a grocery store and just kind of set up our room and stuff, and I think I probably took a nap or just talked with our roommates or something.
Isn't
that hostel was awesome.
Yeah, it was. Because I remember like sitting in the sauna for like a long time.
Yeah, it was nice to relax there. Those Australians also, the NBA Finals was that night. It was might have been Game 7, and Josh said, "I'm going to watch it later, so don't tell me who wins." And the very next morning, the first thing they say is, "Lakers won!"
That was a different guy. That was a Jewish guy from LA. But yeah, he was like wearing his Kobe jersey. And he's like, "Lakers won, man." It's like, the only thing I talked to you about was don't tell me about the game. Like,
Yeah.
That's funny.
trying to see if
Oh, I got to show. Okay, so this one's in color.
okay, that's way better.
Oh yes, I was trying to remember if that was in Florence or if that was in Rome. Yeah, baby. That was one of the best gelato places we had ever gone on the Europe trip, though.
So legit.
What did we do? Was that like our big day in Florence? Otherwise,
We only had that one, yeah.
what would we have done otherwise? I mean, if we had spent a day in Cinque Terre, like would we have? I guess we would have just not had the night at the camp. We would have just got there early-ish in the day and just tried to knock out all the stuff that we did.
Yep.
Yeah, we did a lot in that one full day.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it stunk that we didn't get to go to Cinque Terre, but like, I'm glad we got an extra like 6-8 hours in Florence.
Yes. It all worked out. All right, Rome. This is where we parted ways with Eugenio.
We have the past.
I feel, the past, yeah.
That was big.
We were like talking about that for the entire Europe trip, and then when we like finally got to Rome, we were like, we have the past.
Because Rick Steves told everybody to do it, right? Hold it up mightily and say.
Oh
Pass the
boy.
line and exclaim, "I have the pass." That was
Pretty
like,
great.
huge though. I think we got like, when we went to the Coliseum for the like that would have been so long to sit in line at those places.
The Vatican, you're right. I forgot. Wait. Did we have a pass for the Vatican?
I think maybe a certain part of it or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
The museum.
You had to-
I do remember waiting.
Not the actual
Yeah.
Vatican.
Allison and Carissa went to the Vatican with us.
Oh yeah, we met them on the first night.
Yeah, I remember Carissa like sprinting across the plaza to us, and I'm just like, that was nice.
We went to the fountain when we first got there too. Isn't that right? And then
Yeah, you're right. We should start from the beginning.
yeah,
I don't know if we went to the fountain right away. I know that we went to the Coliseum because that's where Eugenio met us.
Well, we went and checked in, the three of us, first.
And I remember thinking, there's no way Eugenio is going to find this place.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because even we had a little difficulty.
yeah. No, I'm just looking in the book. We did drop our bags and then we did go to the Trevi Fountain.
Oh,
right
okay.
away. Because
Fair
I
enough.
had remembered the last time I was in Rome that one of the best gelato places was right across the street from the Trevi Fountain. So I think we like knew we would go to the Trevi and then get gelato.
Gotcha.
That's where we saw someone like literally like jumping in the water to like the
Yep.
statue.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yep.
And then it said we went to the Pantheon.
Oh, okay. So we did walk around the city a little bit.
Yep.
We did kind of that. There's like a little area where there's like the tourist attractions kind of tucked in there, so we did that because we knew we had some time to get before Eugenio got to town.
Wow, I can't believe Eugenio wasn't there for that.
Yeah. That was when he really started penny pinching. didn't, but I guess he was there for, way longer. But I remember thinking like, this is the last like stop with all of us.
Yeah.
So I think that whole trip was like, that whole section of our trip was kind of bittersweet because we all knew it was coming to an end in a couple of days.
I was actually pretty impressed with the Pantheon.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how old it was, and like, I still don't know how they built it. I was just kind of blown away that there was an open circle at the top of it, and somehow it still stood.
Yeah.
Of course, they were doing construction on it, so we didn't get a great view from the outside.
Oh, they had the scaffolding up when we were there?
Yep.
You should go back.
I do need to go back. I'll probably be going back with my boy at some point.
Definitely.
What's his name going to be? Caesar? Little Caesar?
Boy.
Boy.
Hey, boy.
You boy.
Boy.
You.
I remember you guys on our walk to the Coliseum, we also stopped at the, what was that, where the Romans did their, like, horse racing or whatever?
Circus
Yeah.
Maximus.
Yes, and you guys, like, ran the entire length of the
We
course.
did the lap. Yep. It was like a quarter-mile lap.
And then
And,
from there, we went to try to find Eugenio and miraculously did. I saw it.
I don't remember how that just occurred. I mean, he was like walking down the stairs towards the Coliseum as we were like coming around the corner. We're just like, and if that didn't happen, like we would have just never seen him again.
Yeah.
Because he probably wouldn't have been able to find the place. Like, right?
Yeah, it was like crazy that he actually found the hostel, and then there's so many like opportunities that just kind of miraculously happened for us on the trip that like I just don't know if those would happen today. Like they just, I don't know, felt so easy. Like, oh yeah, we'll break off and meet in another like city in a different country, and like we didn't have phones, like.
it was crazy when Shelby and I were in Europe in December. We didn't get lost once. Like we always had our phone and could pull up where we were and got to see what street we needed to turn down. Like we never got lost.
Yeah. Like we printed out a Google map on our first day in Europe and just tried to walk out with that.
Did you miss getting lost?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like I like it. You end up seeing stuff that's like that wouldn't be on your path. Like when you're on a mission, you just walk to the Eiffel Tower and you know exactly where you're going. Like you should kind of just like head down, straight ahead. This is where you need to turn. Like you kind of miss that experience of meandering around. Sometimes it's frustrating, but
Right. Well, and it's like, as we've all just mentioned, it's like when we were lost, we stumbled on some of like the best like pizza places or gelato places or, random things that we wouldn't have otherwise. So I don't know. I just think about how different it would be if we had, gone today versus 10 years ago.
yeah, I don't know if I can ever get back to that mentality of like where we were at in 2010. Like as soon as you don't see Eugenio at whatever specific time, like, don't you just like start calling him, texting him, try to find Wi-Fi?
Right.
But it just worked out like somehow.
Like, yeah, I just think about like, that infamous day back in Paris when we were trying to meet Josh and we were like so pissed that you had gone into the Louvre without us and like, like none of, like we would have been quickly able to resolve that had we had our phones or anything with us.
Yeah.
Now it's like one of the best stories. Like you left us a note on a side of paper we just didn't look at.
Yeah, you just cool amount. Or wait, that was Ben. Oh, cool amount. Just put it away.
Well, it was like a map for like the day prior. So we were like, why the fuck would he give us a map for like,
I believe my comment was, "Well, that was really nice of Josh to leave us a map."
It was just spare paper. Like I didn't have anything else to write on. Oh my god.
I love it, but like Josh, that part about it, you told Eugenio to give me the piece of paper instead of telling Eugenio like, "Hey, I'm gonna leave a note, but I'm gonna meet you guys at the loo."
I must have just thought it was falling on deaf ears as soon as I started talking to him.
It's so true. Yeah.
Where would you guys have been? I don't know why we weren't all in the room. Like, cause
we were all sleeping.
We were sleeping. Yep, you left early.
We were early.
Oh, okay.
And like, yeah, we must have, I think there were only like 2 beds. So we were like sharing beds or something, right? And then, so
in the park, baby.
So I must have been like, Eugenio, make sure Ben gets there. You're not responsible enough for the note. See you, buddy.
Oh my god, it's such a great story. So that night that we were in Rome, we met with the girls for dinner, and then we took Eugenio back to the Trevi Fountain and the Spanish Steps because he hadn't been there. And I remember buying a couple bottles of wine to drink there. And then we all tried to get back to our hostel, and I remember like standing outside of our door to our room, and Josh could not figure out how to open the door with the key. And then I decided like, I should probably shower because it's been a couple days, and like the water, remember the shower was like so cold. There was not any like warm water in that entire place. So we were all debating, like, should we just ride it out until like we get back to the States at that point? And I remember just standing in the shower like, this is terrible. And then I'm pretty sure I called it, like, I'm not showering anymore for the rest of this trip.
I don't remember like the bathroom part of it. Like, 'cause we obviously didn't have our own private place because our room was just like our beds, right? Or
yeah.
Do we have a bunk bed and then 2 singles? Were you guys in a bunk?
No.
Okay.
I think you and Eugenio were.
Okay.
Or yeah.
That key, I remember like you had to turn it like 3 times the correct way. So then if you went like the opposite way, then you 6 times the other way. It was just like, I don't know, I struggled really bad with that thing.
Yeah, it was like
an old school key.
Yeah.
Like a skeleton key or whatever. That first night did we try to drink that wine on the Spanish Steps, or was that the next night?
I feel like it was the next night.
Okay. It was the next night because I have a picture. It's one of my favorite pictures from the trip. I think this is our last day.
Okay, we're
talking about the last day.
We woke up and I'm saying it's 9:00 and we were trying to finish off the near full bottle of wine because we didn't want to waste it.
So we only spent 2 nights in Rome then, but like 3 full days.
Yeah.
Okay, so after the first night in Rome, then we went to the Vatican City.
Yep. Yeah, we woke up super early to get there. And we spent a lot of time there.
Yeah, it was cool. I remember walking into, oh my God, was it the Sistine Chapel?
Yeah.
The very first thing I do is look up and take a picture.
Then they're like, no pictures.
Hey, at least I had my flash on.
Oh, God.
Didn't we walk up the steps of like that as well? I'm pretty sure.
Some tower. Yeah, we did. We
might have splurged. Top of the dome.
Mm-hmm.
The staircases up there, I remember being like less claustrophobic than at the Duomo in Florence. Just the angle of the ceiling gets really ridiculous in Florence, but the Vatican's set up a little bit nicer.
Yeah, because they're kind of like twisting around or something, I remember.
I'm glad Josh included this part, but as we were walking, or we were like on a platform there, we started singing Do Re Mi with Alyssa, and sorry, Allison and Carissa, or just their joint
Alyssa
name.
together, yeah, and then somebody was like, "Are you guys a traveling like group, like a music group?" We're like, "Yep." Like we're just like, I think we were going as we were descending. We were like singing because there's like just a long spiral staircase where you're just like constantly just going around in a circle, and that's when we started doing that.
And then the infamous aqueducts.
Okay.
That was such a bummer.
This is when I wish Eugenio was on because he could attest to. That was
Lord.
That was probably one of those times where everyone wished we had our phones and could have just found the exact place to get into there rather than detour. Sorry.
What was, I mean, yeah, definitely a real big bummer because you can see the park entrance as soon as you walk out of the train stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sucked.
But
we ended up walking down that highway and then like down a private road where somebody stopped and said, "Turn back. This is a private road."
Yeah, there's like Porsches and Ferraris and stuff like right there.
Sandwiches in hand or like in grocery bags as we're carrying it.
Yeah, like we wanted to eat in the park.
Yeah.
And I just remember like I pulled a Eugenio finally and was like, I am not walking any more without this chip and cheese sandwich. And then Eugenio and I decided it was useless and decided to turn back.
Sorry, Roxy. I mean, I probably forced you into that by being a prick. So.
Well, I was like complaining the entire walk, which was not helpful. I think it was just at that moment where I was like, yeah, I could probably be ready to go home now. Like it's been a long, just tiring pace that we were keeping up. And I regret that I turned around because you like found it almost immediately after we had like abandoned.
Like I said, you can see it from the train stop.
But I will say I was sad that I would not participate, but I think Eugenio and I had like, I just remember we got back to our hostel and like had like a really deep like conversation for like hours until you guys got back. And then we all kind of like apologized for our behavior and then went and got gelato or something.
I'm sure I bought you gelato to try to make up for it, even though that I should have done way more. But yeah.
Well, it was fine. I mean, like I said, I did not make it easy because I was complaining the entire time.
Josh, I think that was our first alone side trip.
Oh yeah. It was like Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, it turned out to be really cool. I know that we had like a couple liters of beer that was piss warm at that point.
Oh, like our brownies?
Yeah. But the aqueducts I couldn't wrap my mind around it. Like, it's just right there. It was super cool. How old are they? Like thousands of years?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, maybe built, I don't know. Maybe. But no, that whole park was pretty cool. And I think that had we not wanted to get back to hang out with Roxy and Eugenio, we probably would have stayed longer. So I remember like, oh, let's just go down here and then we'll turn around. And every time we got somewhere, it was a new scene and we wanted to stay.
We took jump pictures despite Roxy, which is kind of mean, but I remember coming back and be like, hey, look at this.
Despite her.
We'll just like, hey, look at these sweet.
If Roxy were here, she'd want a jump picture.
Yeah.
I felt like it was kind of mean.
Oh, really? I think we were like commemorating her.
That was the night that we got back. Then we went and tried to have wine on Tanner Steps and got yelled at. But then like I feel like they didn't care. Like they just like made us move a little bit and then
Yeah.
continued.
It's like everybody else. So refresh my memory, because I remember that night the three of us went back to our room, and
After
because
that, it was already like 11 or midnight at that point.
right, and because we knew the Coliseum was the next day, so we wanted to get some sleep. And then what was this story? Like Eugenio got locked out or something, and he had to like holler up the window or something.
So Alyssa wanted us to go out clubbing with them. And Roxy and I were definite no's because we had planned on waking up at 5 a.m. to go see the Coliseum
Sunrise.
That's right.
before everybody else. So we were like hard no's. Eugenio was in because he didn't want to wake up and go do that. And then they tried to convince Josh to go as well.
And I waffled on it, but I ultimately was like, no, I want to go Sunrise at the Coliseum. Sounds better than blowing this 10% opportunity that Eugenio's trying to be like, oh, dude, if you come out, it's gonna be awesome. No, you don't know that, but I know Sunrise, like with Ben and Roxy, is gonna be awesome at the Coliseum. So like, well, I'll be back at some point. I was like, don't worry, I'm a really light sleeper. Just yell my name. I'll keep the window open, and I'll come down and get you. And I remember waking up the next morning for the Sunrise thing and be like, huh, Eugenio's in here. I wonder how he got in. And he was like yelling my name, and one of you two woke up to get him, right?
It was Josh, you told him that you were a light sleeper and that you'd wake up if he just shouted your name through the window. So I wake up to Josh, Minsky, Josh.
That's so funny. I slept through the whole damn thing. I did not know anything was happening.
I mean, yeah, just the next morning, just being like, huh, how did he get in? Like, he didn't even try to yell my name. Like,
Again, like, just to go back to our previous conversation, like, if that had happened today, like, Eugenio would have just called one of us. But, like, we legit thought that was, like, a legit plan. Like, oh, just call our name outside the window and we'll let you in.
It was like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
That was a funny night.
But then, yeah, the next morning, we were one of probably a handful of people that got to the Coliseum for sunrise. I do remember getting off the train station, and there was a guy passed out in the lawn.
Yeah.
And a started on.
Yeah, that was like our first, sight of it. And we're like, let's go around to the other side.
I know I have an awesome picture. Maybe you guys do too. Like with just me in the Coliseum. There's not another person in the picture.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I love that picture. Like, we were so.
Roxy stayed one of me and her.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the lights still on, yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Not so much of a sunrise, but just having it to ourselves was super
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
And then, yeah, we went back to pick up Eugenio. You guys downed the bottle of wine at 9 a.m.
Yep.
I think we all had some energy, and we were all very excited to go to the Coliseum. Held up our pass. We played some Eugenio and I juggled, and that's when we did our video journal.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
In the Coliseum.
Side alley. Yeah.
I remember thinking it was so stupid at the time. And then, like, I don't know, just looking back on it, it was like, wow, we couldn't have chosen, like, a better place to have our last, like, video chat, like, you know, somewhere distinctive in Europe. It was really cool. I had forgotten that we did those video chats, honestly, but I remember we, like, after we saw Josh doing one, the first one, was it in Madrid or something,
You guys made
and we like
fun.
made fun of you. And then we like all decided, oh, let's just all get in on those video chats. That was fun. I would love to see those again.
They're up on
You can.
Are
Yeah.
they on YouTube? Okay.
J Helmo 711.
Okay. I'll have to look at those. And then
Allison was going to join us at the Coliseum, but she didn't have the pass.
Sucker.
Yep. So she turned around. She met us there in the morning.
Okay.
well, they were also going to go there like on their school trip or whatever.
Josh, you ran into, or you thanked the Coliseum guide that you had on your previous trip.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was weird. Just running into him.
Yep.
I remember I think it started like raining too. Like we were like the crowds kind of cleared out and we were just like, whatever. It's not the worst rain in the world, and like just kind of had it to ourselves for a brief period of time.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody, that's good call, Josh. Everybody just like, it was like at a football stadium. Everybody just went into the hallways and nobody was outside
Yeah.
except us.
I think that's when we took our group picture because there was no one else in the shot.
Oh.
And I remember thinking like we all had our raincoats on, and I remember it was raining, but we all, because there's like no one else around.
Yeah.
That's crazy that that's what we like did on our last day there. Like what a way to like end the trip.
Did we walk around the forum too?
Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely would have wanted more time there because I enjoy looking at history and old ruins and stuff. And then I feel like the pass included 3 or 4 access sites. And so the 3 of us went to a castle.
Yeah, over by the Vatican.
That's right.
That was the same day. That was that day.
Yeah, because
I
I think we were going over
so.
by like, we'll just say Alyssa, the 2 of them, later, and I think Eugenio ducked over there beforehand, but we went into.
He was watching the World Cup, as I just read.
Okay.
Mm.
We went to Castello Sforzesca, like the Vatican's castle, where they would keep.
That's right. And then we went back to the girls' apartment or whatever and took one of my favorite pictures ever.
Uh-huh.
I remember we like barricaded ourselves in one of the bedrooms and then just like, I don't know, did our last video chat for like 30 minutes.
I was a wreck when we were doing that. I was like really, like just kind of, I was emotional. It was bad.
Yeah. Yep.
Eugenio took over that last one and like laid out our entire trip so eloquently. And like, I don't know, you know how Eugenio is. He gets deep without even trying, and it just like comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. That was sad when we like the 3 of us left and like we knew like we had to say goodbye to Eugenio and we knew that he was going to continue on. But then remember something about a train or something. We weren't sure if we had the right train to get to the
We didn't know
airport.
if we had the right pass, as always.
I remember
to the
being
airport.
super nervous at that one. Like, this is not
Yeah.
how we can go out getting kicked off a train. But
That's
then,
why we left like super early
yeah,
to make sure that if we missed that one, we could get on the later one to the airport.
that's right.
I remember taking like the subway over, and I don't like none of us really after we said bye to Eugenio. I don't think any of us said anything to each other. We were like on the subway, all just kind of staring straight ahead. I was like just trying to grapple with things, and then
Yeah.
somebody just kind of cracked the silence and was like, "Remember that time when we were in Madrid?" You know, just like some ridiculous memory from like early on in the trip, and it was just like, "Oh my god, this is so awesome!" Like, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
To do this.
And then we had that awful night in the airport because were too cheap to get a final hotel or something somewhere.
Yeah.
We had to sleep in the airport. I remember being so damn cold. We like set up a little makeshift shelter for the three of us.
Shantytown. It was Shantytown.
Yeah, why did
Josh got to use the blanket thing.
I thought Roxy got to use that in the?
I'm pretty
I don't remember how it happened.
because I
I
was.
remember there were a lot of people sleeping at that airport.
Yeah.
I don't. Why did we go that afternoon if our flight wasn't until the next morning? Just because, like.
No, we went to the airport at night.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
it was
like,
dark.
but why? Like, yeah, I mean, you said like
'Cause
we left early from their place, but like, as long as we got there before like 8 a.m. the next day, we would have been fine, right?
Right. I'm sure the train like situation. I think we took the second to last train that night to the airport.
Okay. And then the one that would have left super early the next morning wouldn't have been in time.
Probably not for my liking. I'm sure we would have arrived like 4 hours early, but fucking Ben. Yeah, we did sleep there. And we were checking, none of us slept. So I remember checking the monitors to see if our flight was on time, and like it wasn't. And then all of a sudden it said it was canceled. And then we're like, okay, we got to do something. Like a line started forming. I remember getting up, all three of us stood in line, and we got up to the counter and they're like, why weren't you here before? It was like, we definitely could have gotten in line as soon as we saw like something was up for them to find us a new flight. We didn't. And so from when we checked in, there was like, okay, we can get you on a nonstop Alitalia flight, but it leaves in 45 minutes. And so, yeah, we bustled through as much as we could, made it. But the other issue was, yeah, we didn't have cell phone or anything to tell our mom and Jan where to meet us once we arrived in Chicago. And like, we didn't know if we were going to arrive at the same time, different time. But again, it all worked out.
We were supposed to like connect through Madrid or Amsterdam or something, right? Like,
It was Iberia through Madrid.
Okay.
Yeah.
I told the other day, I remember about that line in that morning where we were like, we realized that there was like, okay, we need to let people walk through here, so we'll leave like an 8-foot gap between us and the people in front of us. Like that was the gap that was kind of the main thoroughfare through the airport. And then when the line moved forward enough, we're like, oh, well, we'll move up. And like all the Asian tourists just right behind us blocked off the entire thing. So we're like,
Yeah.
we'll leave a 6-foot gap in front of us now so people can still get. And then I kind of like looked over my shoulder like, okay, do you understand what's happening here? Like, we're going to move forward, but don't everyone come with us. Like, say that, but just kind of give him like a glance, like, that, hey, do we understand each other? We move forward, everyone right behind us. Like,
It's true.
and I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Like, just stay back.
I don't remember anything about the flight back, honestly. Like, I don't know if I was just like passed out from like just how strenuous everything was, or if I don't know, I just don't remember any of it.
Do you think we sat, like, we had like a middle row to ourselves, or?
I feel like we did have a row to ourselves. You and I probably played cribbage.
Yeah,
I feel like we did a little bit.
probably watched
Oh.
some movies and slept if you could.
Yeah. There you have it.
Yeah, that was it. I like how some of our favorite memories aren't about necessarily the things that we saw or went for. It was just like shared experiences of being together and like weird things happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah, I mean,
Like
even
all of us, anybody can say like, oh yeah, I went to Florence and saw, so-and-so, it was so beautiful. But like when I think of Florence, I think of Josh going behind the counter and serving people gelato.
yeah.
Right. Or singing or camping and like coming up with games. And I don't know, it's just, it was
Yeah.
because everybody on that trip was awesome.
Yeah. I still think about how crazy it all worked out. Like, like Josh and I had literally never met each other until like we started. I mean, like that's almost a recipe for disaster. Like, and just how our group like gelled so easily. I mean, if you think about it, we were there for a month and we got into like 3 tiffs, you know, like where we lost our tempers, like, you know, a crazy small amount of time considering how we were together for, you know, nonstop for a month. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't think that could have been any better with like anyone else.
Yeah, I think like,
We're all pretty easygoing.
and like prior to like everything getting planned, like I was planning on going to Europe with 2 friends that I had known for like 10 years, and then I ended up going with a guy I hadn't even known for like, I'd known Eugenio for maybe like 9 months at that point. I'd probably known Ben for like 3 to 4 months, and Roxy for 0 days. Like, I mean,
But it got off at like from a great start because you just walked in and were really bummed when Eugenio and I were planning our trip. You were so bummed that you weren't going to be going to Europe, and we just said flat out, "You should come with us."
yeah.
Like obviously, like yours fell through. Come join us.
Yeah, I think I just sat down and like my sister's coming too. All right. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be nice.
Yeah, I
to meet
remember
her.
Ben texting me like, yeah, like, oh, Eugenio's friend Josh is coming. Are you cool with that? And I'm like, whatever. Like,
Roxy, I do remember telling you, like, Mom didn't want you to go for some reason, and you were like on the fence for a little bit. And I remember telling you that when I thought about this Europe trip and like what we would be doing, I always saw you there with us,
yeah.
and I think that helped make your decision a little bit.
Yep, it 100% did. I remember because I had been to Europe like 2 years prior, and so Mom was telling me like I didn't have any like savings, and you know the classic you should get a job after college. And I remember you saying that, and then I talked to Vanessa, and Vanessa was like, "Dude, you're gonna regret it if you don't go. Like, just stop thinking about it and just go." And then I was like, "All right, I'm in." Yeah. It was one of the best decisions of my entire life. Like, no joke. Like, it's just, there's no regret at all. And if you, I mean, we like did not spend that much money if you really think
No.
about it. Like,
So cheap.
I think like
Yeah.
the train pass and the flight was like 50-60% of the total cost of that trip.
Yeah.
Like, and the rest, I mean, we got by pretty cheap.
yeah, I guess I'm just grateful that we like all, you know, met at the times that we did. And I'm grateful that we decided to go on this trip together and like make this memory. But I'm more grateful that like we've been able to, I don't know, just continue to be as close as we all are. Like we've been to each other's weddings and, you know, traveled across country to visit each other. And like, I wish that we could do that more, but obviously I think it's just telling that we can like pick up just right where we left off, even if we haven't seen each other in like a year or something. And I don't know, it's pretty remarkable that 10 years later, we're all still sharing each other, you know, in each other's lives.
And laughing about the memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 10 years ago, it's still like, I mean, it's chock full of like some of my favorite memories of my whole life. It's
Yep.
wild. I mean, there's been a lot of other cool stuff that's happened and big life events, but like, I don't know, it's just like so action packed, just awesome stuff. And I feel like it shaped me, kind of who I am, pretty remarkably. Like, from just kind of where I was at and trying to figure out how am I going to be as an adult, like just being open to traveling to go see friends and open to different things and experiences and not getting like too worked up when things don't go right, because that happened quite a bit because of me. But,
Yep.
All right, I hate to break this up, but I have a meeting right now.
right,
Yeah, I got to go to another meeting.
Okay.
Okay,
Guys, this
but I love you guys.
This was awesome.
Love you too.
Thanks for doing this. Love you.
Let's chat again soon.
Bye, guys.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, see you guys.